Hey, welcome back, Friendship Small Groups. Man, we got another week. We got another section of Scripture. Today we are in Galatians chapter 2, verses 1 through 10. And so that's what we're going to be looking at on Wednesday. Come to youth group. We're going to dive deeper into it. But here's the big ideas that I want you to think about with Galatians chapter 2. There's two words, acceptance and entrusted. Acceptance and entrusted. And here's the idea that Paul is talking about. He's saying in this first section of it, he's talking about acceptance. And he says after 14 years, he received this revelation from Jesus, this message, the gospel that Jesus wanted him to teach. He received it. 14 years goes by. He is up north teaching and preaching, making disciples. And after 14 years, he comes back to Jerusalem. And he says he meets with the pillars of the church, these influential leaders of the church, Peter, James, and John. And he meets with them and he says, hey guys, listen, this is what I've been teaching for 14 years. This is the message I received from Jesus. This is what I've been teaching. Is there any problems here? Is there any controversies that what I'm saying and what you're saying? He just wants to lay it all out for them. And they say, no, yeah, great. You are doing awesome. Like that is exactly what you should be teaching. There's no issues. There's no problems with that. And so he gets this acceptance from the leadership of the church, the big guys, the big wigs, the guys that are influential. They are pillars in the church. He gets their acceptance of the message that he's been teaching. And so he looks for that acceptance and he gets it. It makes me think. So think about you now. Transition is to you. Who do you look for acceptance by? Who are the people? Do you try to find acceptance from your family, from your friends, from your coach, your neighbors, whoever it is in your life? Who are you trying to get the acceptance from? Now, acceptance in itself is not a bad thing, but here's the problem. When people begin to prioritize acceptance over the truth of the gospel, they start to compromise their faith. And sometimes we can get in this mindset where we want the approval, we want that acceptance from other people, from this group of people so bad that we begin to compromise and we don't live for Jesus the way that we should. Jesus should be the top priority and then acceptance over people, accepted into people's group. But if they are not going to accept you because you are a Christian, Jesus is first. So that's what Paul's saying. He's wanting their acceptance. But then the second half of this, he talks about the second key word, entrusted. That they then, although they have accepted him, they then send him out and say, you should continue to do this. You need to go preach to the Gentiles. This is a great thing that you're doing. And they are encouraging him. They are entrusting him with this mission, this job to go and preach to the Gentiles. So who is it in your life that is pushing you to be more like Jesus? Do you have someone in your life that is entrusting you with living a certain way, that is helping you to live a certain way? Is there somebody in your life that maybe it's a hard thing to do for some? Maybe you got to have that friend that is like willing to really kind of get on your nerves and really kind of step on your toes a little bit, but to tell you, hey, you need to do this more. You need to live like Jesus. I see you're not really living like Jesus this way. We're going to work on this together. And is there somebody in your life that is kind of pushing you to be more like Jesus? That's what they were doing with Paul. They were saying, hey, you need to continue out and go and preach and teach. That's a great thing that you're doing. So I hope I can be an encouragement for you. I hope you have somebody else in your life that can be an encouragement for you to go and live more like Jesus. Talk about that with your small group. Who is it that you seek acceptance from? Who is it that pushes you to be more like Jesus? And we will discuss this a little bit deeper on Wednesday night. So I hope to see you there. Have a good week, guys. Bye.